with an ankle. They'll miss him, while in the reserves for West Adelaide, Jade Cleland, Patrick Fairley and Reid Stevens. So they've got their 22 set and almost ready to go here at the Bay. Quick tip, Robbie Neal.
I think Glenelg will be too strong, John, and I think they'll win quite comfortably, 6 to 7 goals.
Yeah, I'm about 5 to 6 goals for Glenelg myself. As we're underway here on the SANFL digital pass or the audio stream, depending where you're watching or listening to us here, ACH Group Stadium, the Bay, as Andre Perella got the first hit out. The big man has to do some roving now. Hanneth wraps him up, and there'll be a ball up, a second go at it, right there in the centre circle. This time wrestling in the ruck. Umpire's going to clear everybody out. He's found a free kick. It's going the way of the Bays, and Hanneth can really launch it long to the end. The Bays are kicking to that northern or Jetty Road end. Off hands, Crum nicely, Reynolds. West Adelaide come up with it now. Sweeping handball. Did find a target in the end, but it was Bailey for Glenelg who sort of shoveled it out. Players piling in from both sides. Handball came out. West will get the clearing kick, and they'll have a chance to clear off defensive 50. So an early surge forward by Glenelg, averted here by West Adelaide as they go towards the outer wing. Pack form, fisted towards the line. Nicholson dives in there for the Bays. And the umpire's seen enough. Keogh there as well. He'll come in and ball this one up on the outer wing. Perella won it down. Snoot worked it nicely. Get a second opportunity after Nicholson was, Ping's holding the ball, and May will come up with it now for West Adelaide. May wasting no time, driving the Bloods towards 50. Elam lurking, knocked away from him by Parks. Ball at ground level. Little give came out, West Adelaide. Nice work early, and Keogh's got on the end of that short pass, and West Adelaide can have their first shot on goal. Tucked around that left forward pocket about 35, 40 metres out.
Yeah, Michael Virgin just dropped off the contest there. He figured that there was a fair bit of mess in front of him, and that was going to be he had support there, and he was able to drop off and defend some dangerous space behind. But Keogh was able just to drop in front and take the mark in front.
Nice little pass from Morrish too. Young man playing for West Day as that kick drifts across the face and just sneaks through for the first behind of the game. As the Tigers fans lift in voice in front of us in the members stand. And Cullen Park prepares to bring the footy back into play, runs it into the left back pocket and drives it towards half back where the Packers form. Levecki thumped it down, running onto it nicely, Stretch. His kick towards half forward will come off as Yates has taken the mark for the Tigers. So Yates wasting no time, goes long towards the forward line. Motlop there, but at the back, Reynolds diving through in the pocket and taking a very nice mark. The former Port Adelaide Magpie just inside the boundary line.
Yeah, well, the crumb from Billy Stretch set that play up. He moved with a fair bit of speed, so he had to take it. If you left it behind, it could have gone the other way, but he met it with speed and was able to get it forward where there was limited traffic in front of him. Most of it was around the footy, and Luke Reynolds is going to have a set shot at goal, and he's threaded it.
He has kicked it beautifully, Luke Reynolds. Just kicked it straight. Didn't go the check side. Just banged it straight through. Glenelg with the first. West Adelaide one behind. The Bays by 5 points. 4 gone first term. Gee, Luke Reynolds is a dangerous player when he can do things like that. Stand up, take a big mark, kick a goal like that. And you've still got Liam McBean as well up there.
Yeah, that's right. And he can kick different types of goals too, John. He's got the ability to be able to kick them at ground level and snap and pick up off the ground and bring other players into the game, but he's got that ability aerially. He can win the footy on a lead as well, so he just gives the forward line such a lot of flexibility, and he can play a whole range of different players around him. He's just so effective. He's been brilliant for the Tigers for the last 2 or 3 years.
Great pick up there, as we said, from the Port Adelaide Magpies as Hanneth wins it to Snook. Handball was intercepted by Stevens for West Adelaide, and Kane Stevens puts the Bloods to 50, and Big Elam, wearing Guernsey number 59, the boy from the Sydney Swans Academy, gets up and takes the grab. He's quite confident in the way he's strutting back, ball tucked under his arm. Man on the mark, 45 out, slide angle. As we know, these 50s at Glenelg, perhaps a tad under 50, shooting more from like about 47, 48 metres. So he'll probably be kicking from right on 50 now. Elam, he drags it to the left. Getting up high there, Hanneth. Ground level, Proud under pressure. rushes it through for the Bloods, second behind. 4 points they trail the Tigers by, West Adelaide. 5.5 gone in this first quarter. Ball back into play, marked by Parks after Callum Park brought it in. An excellent player for the Tigers this season. Luke Parks just chips it short and finds the ever-reliable Andrew Bradley. Goes looking for Virgin over his head. Dangerous Keogh pounces, and Keogh, no, doesn't get a good bounce. Costa running back. He didn't get a great bounce either. Bradley tried to keep it in. Did he do so? No, he didn't. Umpire Schramm appreciated what he was trying to do and says we'll ball it or throw it in with the boundary umpire.
Yeah, turning over the footy in slow play kicking, basically your defence is sort of spread out and there's no rebound protection, so missing a target can be consequential.
Barella in front position, wins it down, running onto it Morrish from Owen United in the Sunraysia competition. He kicks it back to the goal square. In the end, fisted through for another behind to the Bloods. The Tigers by 3 points, 6 gone in this first term. West getting a few opportunities but not making the most of them. And Callum Park, who seems to be the designated kicker, brings it back into play. Parks with it now. Park to Parks. We're going to have to watch that this afternoon, as we have done all season. And Parks launched a long one towards this members wing over everyone. So it's just going to be touched in the end and run over the line there by Billy Stretch. And we'll see another boundary thrown. But that fair distance on that kick from Luke Parks.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of these ones that West Adelaide defend quite well. They do get in your way, and it's a situation sometimes your first receiver from those kickouts, if they can roll on the foot boundary side, so if you can get a left footer where Park actually took that footy, they can almost pump it over the back, and you can get it to a one-on-one sort of in the middle of the ground. So at the moment, it's a lot of sort of slow play kicking. It's hard to get through given the limited space between the arcs at this oval.
Well, Ruttman had an awkward-looking area there. Sam May, the lad who's been playing with Westies since the under-13s, taking possession but tackled strongly. And he'll have to turn this one over to the umpire as we go again. Hanneth wins it down. Partington lurking. Squire was good for West. He's got a handball out. Kuller's kick didn't go far. He goes in again. Stevens tackles him. Another ball up results.
Good attack on the footy too by Kuller. It's his first game, as you mentioned before, West Gambier boy, and it was just a good possession. He didn't get a possession, but he was able to ride the contact and at least get a stoppage for his team.
Condon got it moving. Sharonberg now, beautiful pass, and McBean on the lead. In front of Ryan on that occasion. Talk about Reynolds, but here's the real danger man up forward, Liam McBean, the reigning Ken Farmer medalist, leading goal scorer for the Tigers this year. And this is his bread and butter.
And Sharonberg, just a beautiful user of the footy, but it's always good for a midfielder with a fast play kick, having someone presenting at you and there's no one between kicker and receiver, and you can just knock that little kick, eliminate the pressure of the defender, force him to caravan in, and McBean is usually a good kick for goal.
Starts at left, brings it back very, very nicely. Liam McBean, he gets his first. The Tigers get their second. They're out to a 9-point lead. Almost 9 gone in this first term. And, well, as we said, Westies have had their chances inside 50, but the key to Glenelg, 2 scoring shots, 2 goals.
Oh, it's just the use of the footy too. It was brilliant by Johnny Schoenberg, and McBean just got that separation. He was able to get a push off his opponent, and once you could actually see that his teammate was coming out the front of that congestion, he was able to present, and a beautiful kick. Didn't need to be a bullet. He just weighted it beautifully, eliminated the pressure of the defender, and McBean was able to kick truly and put the Tigers 9 points up.
Hannah came charging in before umpire Schramm had got up, almost collided. One down by Perella, breaking away Turner, an under-18 premiership player with West Adelaide. Ball still in dispute. Turner again to Stevens. Now Hazeman. They work it around nicely. Duval gave to Waite. His quick little kick down the line, and Westies hold possession. On offer for the Bloods, so they decide to go long towards 50. Sandwich in between 2. Hupfeld was up, couldn't take it. Bloods will go inside 50 though. Bouncing ball, gets past everyone. Last line defence. Stretch happy to wander it through walk it through for the fourth behind for the Bloods.
Thinking the Bloods, had they been able to roll there and then get it over the back, there was a one-on-one. Then your Crummers have got to really turn quickly, get there to Crum, but also hits the ground, and Glenelg able to pick up the footy, lay a tackle, get a stoppage.
Long kick Park. Bailey was up, couldn't take it. Perella got the handball out. Klusky had it, lost it. Now recovers nicely with the excellent tackle there on Fairley. And Jack Klusky comes up with it at half-back in the bright blue boots. Decides to dish off the handball. Parks, high up and under kick, will lob on the wing. Knocked away from McBean. May working hard there at ground level, but he's wrapped up by a couple of Tigers. And the umpire calls for the footy. Eight points the lead to Glenelg as Cooler there. Willsmore happy to see it over the line. Twilight game here at ACH Group Stadium. Two other games in progress at the moment. Give you some scores of those shortly as Perella wins this one down. Coming through Squire, Scharenberg tackle him. Umpire says he'll take the footy. I can tell you it only 10 minutes into that contest of the final quarter. Sturt on upset territory. They're leading South by 15 points. Norwood by 7 points over Central. Early days in the final quarter at the Ponderosa. As it's going to be a free kick here to Willsmore for the Bloods at half-back. Dallas Willsmore, from a Hawthorn player, comes around with a left foot towards this member's wing. Parks was up, offhand. Callum Park took it nicely. Keogh grabbed him, took him to ground, holding the ball to call. And Keogh will get the free. Chips it short. And Westies have it through Big Ellum, who started up forward, goes searching over the head of Hupfeld. At the back there, Stretch was good. Coming through Hill, spoiled Klusky, but he had time to recover. And now Glenelg through Yates on that outer wing. Can get something going. Condon there, one-on-one with Mead. It was knocked away by Duval. May's kick smothered. Coming through Agostino. Got the handball up to Squire. And now Mead. The Westies young guns working well. Toner laid it off. Kick smothered there and out of play. And we'll see a throw-in on that outer wing. Great story. Mitch Duval was playing Division 2 in the Adelaide Footy League last year with Unley Mercedes Jets. He's just this week been invited to the SA AFL Draft Combine.
And that was a great spoil too, because you had two Glenelg guys were able to get goal side of their opponent, and Duval was able to come off his opponent and impact that kick that could have potentially been an over-the-back slingshot and could have been a goal to the Tigers.
One down by Hanneth. Motlop was immediately set upon. Ball did come out in the end, but not before the umpire had blown his whistle. 13 gone here at the Bay. Bright, sunny conditions. We won't truly get dark till about the final quarter, but I feel we'll have the lights on at half-time as Scharenberg got it out. Stretcher's kick was smothered. Umpire close to the boundary has called it over, and another boundary throw into result. 8 points to margin. Favour the Tigers. Sides just still, as so often is the case in the first quarter, like boxers, testing each other, feeling each other out as Turner breaks for the Bloods off half back. Nice little kick. Almost pulled down in the middle of the ground there by Johnson. Couldn't do so. Klusky comes through, but a handball out. Now Park head over the footy, tackled strongly by the veteran Logan Hill. And there'll be a ball up half forward for the Bays.
Yeah, most of these midfield stoppages, West are sending in one of their high forwards. So Andrew Bradley sitting off the back of stoppage. He's sort of waiting for anyone to come out the front.
As Nicholson burst through, got it to Kuller, goes towards McBean, wrestling there with Ryan, and it's off hands out of play. Was it touched is the question. It wasn't, so Ryan takes the free, goes short, finds May. Thinks about going back to Ryan. Goes long out towards half-back. Betterman had the arm up, couldn't bring it down. Umpire sent a high tackle, though, going the way of the Bloods at half-back. Agostino Good to see him in the side. He's been with the Bloods for a while now, playing game number 55. Drives it. Offhands Johnson was good. Fairly got a little give. And now the Bloods go towards half forward, where it's trapped nicely by Virgin. And Glenelg can work it through handball. The aforementioned Bradley drops it up there looking for Condon. Knocked away from him. West again, the numbers at ground level. Stevens off to Hill. Hill motions for the players to come towards him, then goes short, and Klusky knocked it away. Kane Stevens recovered nicely for the Bloods. Got it back to Turner. Now Duval off a step, bangs it on the boot towards the clubroom wing. And it's marked nicely there by Connor Fairley. Got a couple of touches early. Back with the club this year after playing with South Adelaide. The kick's long towards half forward.
Yeah, he had to roll and go there, John. Yeah. There's a situation there where he stopped, and Glenelg were able to come back and fill that hole there. Had he gone, he had his teammate further afield in Keogh.
As here's a chance for the Bays. Motlop went forward. Bailey trapped it nicely, and he's dribbled it through. 3 straight to Glenelg, 4 behinds to West Adelaide, and yeah, just that little hesitation. The mark by Bradley at half-back sets things up for the Tigers.
Yeah, and that was the situation. Had he gone, Keogh was actually on the favoured side of his opposition. His opposition was corridor side, and had the kick was able to go out in front, it would have given him every chance. But because of the hesitation, he went back behind the mark and then went. He was probably 3 or 4 seconds late, and as a result, the slide support was able to get in the way, and as a result, Glenelg were able to get back, chain it, and get a goal on rebound.
So back in the middle, the Tigers now out to a 14-point game-high lead. Perella won it down. Squires goes short, finds Hazeman. It's a former Port Adelaide power player, Hugh Hazeman, premiership player in 2015. They'll go long to half forward. Off hands at the back. Costa lurking, coming through strongly, Virgin. And a ball out of play. Touched over the line for a throw. Slight on the attacking side of centre for West Adelaide. 17 gone. As I said, they trailed the Tigers by what is a game-high lead to Glenelg of 14. Hanneth won it down. Quick kick Stevens. The Bays take it though as Snook from left half back to right half, from right half back to left half back, should I say, finds Allen. He's away and running. Long kick inside 50. Offhands where are the Crummers? Well, Yates is there. The umpire's whistle's gone. Yates is taking advantage. He strolls in and kicks his first. Umpire's happy, lets it go, and Glenelg have 4 straight. Westies 4 behinds. And just one of those awkward situations where the advantage is called, but players have stopped and one player doesn't and piles on.
Yeah, that's right. And in that situation was well done by Glenelg to be able to take that advantage and go and kick it. But even as a forward, Lisa was in that situation where he was able to run it up and kick a goal. But sometimes if you do get it and you're in a situation where you've got to snap, you're not sure whether to do it or just to hold put and make sure you've got a teammate who can have a set shot.
Approaching time on in this first quarter. It's the Tigers by 20 points.
It's taking some turn, the track out there at the moment, John.
It is.
It happened a lot in the reserves game. There's a lot of bounces going outside of the circle.
That wasn't one with a highlight reel, but the umpire right on it. Tosses it skyward. Perella wins it down, though. Infringement in the ruck against Hanneth. We'll see Perella get the free kick. Andre Perella lays it off to Stevens. Always busy, always working for West. He goes short and finds Waite. And the long sleeves and the warm conditions. First weekend of spring here in Australia is the long kick from Waite. A nice one. Knocked away from Ellen. Bradley crumbed it nicely. Hooks it back towards half-back. Reynolds flew, couldn't take it. Condon got it up to Motlop, and now Bailey, one of the Tigers' 4 goal scorers. His kick, not a good bounce. Squire pounces to Hupfeld. Back to Squire. Goal coming up here for Westies. No, Virgin. Fantastic smother. Saves the day, Michael Virgin. Gets it up to Klusky, and Glenelg are away with Hanneth, who's got it on that outer wing. He's got Partington running for him. He goes through half forward. Chips inside, 50 over everyone's head. Levicki gets back there. Motlop, clever little tap to Condon, and he just sprays the kick. Although the umpire comes charging in. Umpire Schramm wants to have a discussion. And the point will stand. So the first point to the Bays. They're 4-1-25. Westies 4 behinds.
Yeah, Westies, they missed an opportunity to get a deep entry quickly. They've got to give Elam some sort of a chance to be able to compete. And by holding the footy up and then it not being a deep entry, he's running into traffic, and it's actually really hard for Westies to be able to score. In fact, I can't see how they're going to score at the moment.
Upfield. Got good support from Willsmore. Here's a chance for the Bloods, perhaps. Willsmore
got one
just bangs it long. Exactly. Just banged it long out of the back, and that is Westie's first goal. Dallas Willsmore. His first. Westies 1-4-10. Glenelg 4-1-25. Just ticked into time on in this first term. And, well, it was not pretty. It was hard work. It was unconventional, but Willsmore, in the end, gets the Bloods first.
Yeah, Glenelg set up too well in slow play, so it's going to be really hard to get through them. So they've got to identify when to be able to accelerate the game and try to get the ball over the back to get their big forwards into some one-on-one situations. So they have pushed up an extra number in and around stoppage, so they're either got to chain and use the numbers out of there, because if they do kick quickly out of stoppage to no one, Glenelg have usually got someone set up to as a free to be able to repel any of those forward advances. Scores are level at the Ponderosa. Well, looks like an upset is on the hands at Unley, with Sturt leading South by 27 points. Time on of the final quarter. Here's a chance for the Bays. Klusky, how good was that? Juking and jiving, then dropping it across the boot with the check side. The Bays get the quick reply. Klusky gets his first. The Bays fifth. They're out to a 21-point lead, equal game-high lead, but a great little effort there from the former Sturt Junior and Port Adelaide Magpie, Jack Klusky. That was an excellent little check side kick by Klusky. Just little tight feet. He was just able to find an opening there and beautifully put across his boot. Elected not to go onto the left, and just used the outside of his right foot beautifully. So that scored Unley at Sturt, 10-14-74, leading South 7-5-47. 22 and a half gone final term. Scores level at the Ponderosa, 13-6-84 apiece, 14 gone final term. As back here at the Bay, Glenelg by an equal game high lead of 21 points. Five goals to the Bays, all different goal scorers. Willsmore, the only goal kicker so far for Glenelg, as Stretcher's little kick under pressure didn't go far. Condon managed to get it out. Squire wrapped up in a tackle. And the umpire will ball things up again. 9 inside 50s to 8 in favour of the Tigers at the moment. John, with 5-1 on the board, that's good efficiency by the Tigers. Certainly is. I mean, they've had their chances, Westies, no doubt about that. It's just as you say, Glenelg handling the defensive pressure better and going forward with some really nice ball use at times. Here's McBean with a classic example of that. Motlop slides in, takes the mark, 40 out straight in front. There was a gaping hole, and we call it sort of the back end of the diamond. Usually you've got, in that situation, forwards who will push up higher up the ground to defend the short 45s, but certainly someone defending that space directly behind the player on the mark on the stem. And, Motlop had an absolute paddock to run into and a beautiful kick by McBean. So Motlop straight in front, about 40 out, has kicked it. The Bays get their sixth. Motlop is their sixth single goal scorer. Goals to McBean, Reynolds, Motlop, Bailey, Klusky and Yates for the Bays. Willsmore the sole goal scorer for West Adelaide. 27 points is now the lead to the Tigers. And we've gone about 24 minutes in this first term. Yeah, third possession for Marlon Motlop, ends up in a goal. Matty Snooks had 8 for the Tigers so far. Kane Stevens 7 for the Bloods. So back in the middle. Glenelg fans happy with this start. Glenelg bubbling away nicely. There's McBean in the ruck. Does some rucking and roving. Bailey couldn't trap it. Stevens head over the footy. And umpire says
The free kick going to go the way of the bottom of the pack to Hill for the Bloods. Chips it out wide to Willsmore. West Adelaide's sole goal scorer. We'll kick it long towards half forward. 1-on-1 there. Virgin just working off his opponent.
Well, West Adelaide were heavily outnumbered ahead of the ball. A lot of their players have probably got to actually start to even the numbers up forward of the ball. They tend to sort of want to hang in the short 45s or lateral, and they kick the ball away from that actual area. So anything that goes forward of the player on the mark, they're heavily outnumbered. There's absolutely no way they're going to score in those positions.
Nicholson, nice mark, nice kick down the line. Partington not happy. No, perhaps it wasn't that nice a kick. He's turned it over, and it's going to go to Willsmore. So Willsmore goes short and finds Mead. One of the young guns at West Adelaide has it at defensive 50. Sends it back towards that outer wing. Drifting towards the line. Hupfield did his best to get there and touch it, and as a result, it'll be a throw-in. Round about left half forward for West Adelaide. Hanathan Perella, side by side, charge at the footy as it swings back in. Perella won it down. Boyle couldn't take it. In the end, little give from Partington close to the line and over for another throw-in.
Glenelg still set up here. Andrew Bradley's the free. He's about 25 metres behind the ball. He's just set up just in the middle there, and they've got an extra around stoppage, the Bloods.
Perella up, won it straight down to Allen though for the base. He can put Glenelg inside 50 through the arms of McBean. A loose ball now. Snook got it up, went past Bailey. Hill's handball missed the target of Willsmore, who recovered nicely and puts in a diving tackle there for the Bloods.
In that situation there, they had the extra there at stoppage, West Adelaide, but Glenelg came out the front, but then the Glenelg midfield had spread past the West Adelaide guys and were able to get onto the footy next forward of the ball.
Deep into timer on this first quarter. Here go West Adelaide. Turner marks the Hazeman kick, but again, shut down on this clubroom wing. Goes short to Boyle. Boyle laterally, one wing to the other. Willsmore waited, knocked away from him. Partington, long driving kick towards that northern end and just bounces away to the right. Through for a behind to the Tigers. Out to a 28-point lead. About 28 gone in this first quarter. Glenelg in control. Westie's threatening, but just falling down at crucial moments. Perella got a hand on it. Former Glenelg player Costa's away. Got it up to Waite. He looks up towards half forward where he's heard the voice of Johnston. Goes in that direction. Isaac Johnson backing back. Handball's back now to Willsmore. Willsmore over the top. Johnson, his handball missed the target. Nicholson swooped. Gets it back towards Allen. And Allen can find Partington at half-back. Puller with some run, the lad from West Gambia. Goes inside 50, over the head of Bailey. Trapped well by Hill. Top of the defensive goal square, swings around and finds Ryan in the left back pocket for the Bloods.
And even on that last forward thrust from West Adelaide, it was a 4v1 situation. And the ball was cleared away from the West Adelaide numbers. And Glenelg are just getting back. Slide support's brilliant. And they're going to find it really hard to score today, West Adelaide, unless they were able to change something and get more representation ahead of the ball.
Third have scored an upset 33-point win over the Panthers at Unley, while Central lead Norwood by a goal a minute from time on. Here at the Bay, the Tigers in control by 28 points, closing in on quarter time. It's been an interesting first term. In the end, Glenelg's accuracy in front of goal and better finishing at times has seen them with this comfortable lead. As the siren sounds, Johnson had the footy on the outer wing, but that's where play will end in this first quarter. And at the first break, it is Glenelg 6-2-38, West 1-4-10. Go through the goal scorers for the two sides. We'll have some comments and stats Starting with the Tigers in budget order, 6 single goal scorers: Liam McBean, Luke Reynolds, Marlon Motlop, Darcy Bailey, Jack Kluski and Jack Yates were the goal scorers for the Tigers. While if Glenelg can then win today, that really makes that top 4 a hard thing to crack with only a few rounds to go. Not far away from a start in this second quarter. Robbie Neal and John Nankerver with you here in this twilight encounter, ACH Group Stadium, the Bay, Glenelg versus West Adelaide. The Tigers by 28 points. A short, sharp burst of the siren gets us underway in the second quarter. And Hanneth, the former doggy, skips and circles around the edge of the centre circle. Umpire not happy with his bounce though, and he'll call it back. As I said, Robbie, before, a lot of bounces recalled in the reserves. We've seen a couple today already in the league. It was Westies by 26 points in the twos, incidentally, over the Tigers. As here goes Snook. First clean touch of the second term. Gets it to Nicholson. Kicks across half back looking for Allen. Hazeman got a little hand in there and then knocks it away from Allen. Traps it at half forward. Well done to Hugh Hazeman. High up and under kick back towards the pack. Proud there. Strong in defence with the fist. Great tackle though at the last second though on Stevens. Allen, beaten in the earlier contest by Hazeman, recovers well with that tackle.
That was brilliant by Matty Allen there in that situation. And well done Hugh Hazeman. He was able to get that first entry in for West. He was all looking positive, but such is the tenacity of the Tigers today, and Allen absolutely epitomised that.
Nice take and kick from Betterman there for the Tigers. Played his juniors at Foz Camden. Ball close to the line. Glenelg will come up with it. Motlop hooks it back, and it's Big Hanneth who's got it. Here's the voice of Cluxty, goes short, but West Adelaide stopped that run immediately through Turner, and they will now try and clear the danger zone.
Well, I thought Big Jack was going to have a go there, John. He would have kicked that into the primary school.
He would have. He's got a big leg on him as Levecki goes back to Ryan. You just heard that voice and thought, I'm a ruckman, I better hand off. But he does have a fantastic kick on him. You're right, one of the longest, they reckon, at the Ponderosa in his time there, as Willsmore goes short and finds Boyle, who's found a home for himself at West Adelaide after playing some good footy with the Crows SANFL team. Goes short, and Stevens already into double figures possession-wise. Kane Stevens early in the second quarter, long kick towards this member's wing. No one could really take it cleanly. Little handball came out at ground level. Scharenberg took it, was then wrapped up, and the ball up will result.
So we've got the situation here, John, where there's a stoppage here, but Glenelg were the last 3 players between the stoppage and the goal. So in that situation, West have got to be able to stretch the oval and actually have some representation ahead of the ball, because if they get the ball out and get it forward, it's just going to go to the Tigers.
Kick towards Bailey over his head. In a second chance, he was support from Reynolds, comes up to Allen, and now Motlop. He can run inside 50, Motlop. Can he finish with a goal for the Bays? No, away to the left. So, Motlop 1-1 today for him. Glenelg 6-3-39. Westies 1-4-10. Foregone second term. First score of the quarter. Day of upsets with Sturt beating South by 33 points at Unley, and I can tell you Central have beaten the Redlegs at the Ponderosa by 13 points in a big upset. They've moved themselves maybe temporarily off the bottom of the ladder. Nicholson got the handball out. The umpire's whistle's gone. Free coming back here. Snook very careful to who he gives it to. Free coming back here to Boyle. That's a bit unfair. I mean, Snook was very careful about who he passed it off to, and he still gets pinged 25. Boyle comes from half back to half forward. Chance for the Bloods. He goes short, but lands in the arms of Virgin. He goes short to Allen, and Allen can clear the zone. Long kick towards the outer wing. Kluski took it to Motlop. Motlop's little chip kick found Bailey. Happy to stop and look around. Got a couple of runners, one of whom is Partington. Goes inside looking for McBean. Can McBean trap it? He can. Little check side kick. Just the behind in the end. But Glenelg getting confident. They're trying different things. 6-4-40. West 1-4-10. 5 goals the margin. And we've played about 4.5 in this second term. The ball out towards half-back, off hands again. The Bays handle it nicely. High kick by Bradley. Kluski through from the side. Bailey crumbed. Bouncing kick towards the goals. This will roll through. Bailey gets his second. Starting to get dangerous now for the Bloods as Glenelg get their 7th. 5 gone second term. Glenelg 7-4-40. West 1-4-10.
Yeah, and I don't know whether it was Jack Kluski, whoever it was that attacked the footy.
Kluski.
In the air, it was Jack Kluski, and he was able to bring the ball to ground, and Bailey being the beneficiary out of all of that, was able to get the crumb and tow it forward and was able to roll on and kick a goal. But that's the importance about actually competing. You don't have to mark it. If you're able to bring it to ground and give your players in the vicinity an opportunity to be able to win a loose footy, it pays dividends. On that occasion, Darcy Bailey was the beneficiary out of it all. Well done, Jack Kluski.
So the Bays out to a game-high 36-point lead. And Kluski has been impressive today. Kicked that nice goal. Getting involved on that occasion with his wonderful attack on the footy, setting up the goal for Bailey. As here's West Adelaide. Stevens to Hazeman. And now Duval on the outer wing. High kick back towards 50. Again, though, Virgin, the stumbling block, takes a nice mark. Goes out wide. Finds Nicholson. Pops it up to the run and strength of Partington, but his kick on that occasion under pressure out of play, and Westy should rebound.
You can just see the hard running off the footy. The Glenelg mids and their higher defenders are able to provide, and they move the ball with urgency.
It was good in the first term, but you feel they've really hit their stride in these early minutes of the second quarter. And it's a real danger here for Westies that this game's going to get taken right away from them as Scharenberg goes short to Yates. Yates' kick set his teammate a task. That was Nicholson. He was up to it with some physicality of his own, got a handball out. Agostino coming through, couldn't trap it. Yates gang tackled over the line by about 3 West Adelaide players. A bit of feeling out there. Glenelg leading the contest comfortably at the moment, but they're certainly feeling out there at the Bay today, which is good to see. As back into play comes the footy from behind. Hannah slapped this one down. Umpire's whistle has gone. Westies wanted to take the advantage. Duval's going to have to bring it back to Perella. And now Willsmore goes short. And West Adelaide have possession through Isaac Johnson on this members wing, tied up against the boundary line. Johnson shoots towards half forward, and there it is again. Bradley popping up and taking a good mark at right half back.
You can just see Glenelg defending corridor well and line of goal, but even their fat side winger and their deeper defenders are able to cover the back, so West Adelaide just can't accelerate and slingshot over the back.
As Slade under pressure, the ball coughed up by the Bays. Wait, long kick looking for Hupfeld. He didn't mark it. Virgin did at the back. So Virgin and Bradley mopping everything up at the moment inside defensive 50 for the Bays. As Virgin's kick out towards halfback, knocked down from Reynolds. Taken nicely by Johnson. He hooks it back. Hupfeld there. Player through in front. That was Morrish. And he'll tackle his Glenelg opponent over the line. Throwing in that left forward pocket.
Even when Glenelg held up, John, they're able to change the line of attack. They're calm, but they're urgent, and they're able to, hit the 45s, bang over to the other side of the oval. Players run hard 45s and work really hard. Partington and those sorts of guys stretch, and they're able to make space for each other just through hard work rate between the arcs.
Johnson takes it over. Proud not far behind him. Westies keeping in their 50, but they just don't really look like scoring, such is the pressure and positioning of the Bays.
Yeah, they don't shift the defence of Glenelg at all, so that's the key. Whereas Glenelg get it, they're able to move West Adelaide around just with some really good angles that they're running and using.
From the restart, high kick back towards defensive 50. Turner trying to trap it for West Adelaide. Quick kick by May. Bounces for Stevens. He just hurriedly bangs it on the boot and gets the goal. Excellent finish by Stevens. And West Adelaide get their second, and they just keep themselves in the contest. 2-4-10, play 7-4-46. They've gone 10 minutes, 11 minutes in the second quarter. And Robbie, both their goals, Willsmore and the first, Stevens on that occasion, they'll take them every day of the week, but they've come against the run of play and under great pressure. Stevens, just to finish there, the quickness from hand to foot was the difference with that goal.
Yeah, I mean, that just took a little bit of talent. It probably didn't come from anything methodical, albeit they had some field position and were able to keep it up then in for a little bit of a while, so they were able to get an opportunity out of it. So well done to West Adelaide, but it's not something that you probably hang your hat on to do 15, 16 times a game to win a game. So they've just got to try and get a little bit more method, hopefully get a bit more representation in front of the ball and move the ball a bit quicker for their forwards.
Scharenberg's away, does it nicely. McBean knocked away from him. Crumbed very nicely by Partington, and he's very happy with the way he's finished on that occasion. Luke Partington, great reply for the Bays. Partington gets his first, just as Westies maybe saw a bit of an icebreaker. Margin back out to 36 points, and talk about the skill of Stevens at one end, equally could finish by Partington at the other.
That was beautiful around the corner. 10 possessions so far to Luke Partington for 1 goal, 1. And that was absolutely wonderful. And especially if your mids are interchanging forward, if they can actually hit back the scoreboard, it just increases their value to the team. And Luke Partington's worked really hard. He's one of those players I mentioned before that runs the hard angles, that helps Glenelg move the footy from defence in between the arcs.
8-4-52 Glenelg, 2-4-16 West Adelaide, 11 gone second quarter, just repeating upsets in the other game. Sturt by 33 points over South at Unley, and Central by 13 points over Norwood at Elizabeth, as Hazeman gave to May. After Turner got the initial possession, May's kick towards half forward, fairly lurking. Connor couldn't bring it in. His brother Patrick, named in the squad, ended up playing in the reserves today. Ball out of play, half forward for West Adelaide. Perella, a little flick on it out the back. Getting that good pressure from Glenelg at the stoppage. And the ball up half forward for the Bloods. Hanneth tapped it down. Now chance for May for West Adelaide. High kick back inside 50. Callum Park there couldn't trap it. Hupfeld did. Hasn't been his day though. He's gang tackled into the ground. And another ball up just inside 50 for West Adelaide. Perella slapped it down. But out of play it goes again. And we see another throw in. So just a little stagnation in the game. It's been an entertaining contest. So Glenelg have certainly dominated with their 36-point lead. At the moment, though, all just trapped in Westie's 50, not going far. Hanneth won it down. Here's a chance. High up and under kick. And a good mark from Callum Park in that left-back pocket. A lot of good youngsters, the Tigers. That was one of them. Park to Bradley, back to Park. We give him a wrap, and that happens. Ball goes out of play for a boundary throw. And they just don't look overly spooked, Glenelg, at the moment, despite the fact the footy's been camped in Westie's forward 50 for the last 2 to 3 minutes. They've got a decent lead on the board. And their job clearing the defensive zone so far has been pretty impressive. Hanneth hooks it down. Johnson took it. He was wrapped up in the tackle.
And this doesn't happen often at Glenelg's end, and at the moment they're just able to clamp down and waste some valuable seconds, although Johnson almost got that one there. But there's a lot of pressure around, and Glenelg were able to make sure that if there is any entries or stoppages, they make it really, really hard for you to score from those situations.
Callum Park brings the footy back into play. Willsmore up, had a couple of goes at it. Couldn't take it. McBean roved it twice nicely to Partington. And now some run down the wing from Allen for Glenelg. A high hospital handball sets his teammate a very tough task there in Yates. And in the end, West happy to see it over the line. Ellam wrestling in front in the ruck for West. Won it down only as far as Motlop. Nicholson involved, Betterman there as well. Almost passing it onto the chest of their teammates, placing it there as a high kick from Motlop. But Hill, the saviour for West, as he so often has been over the last dozen or so seasons. He goes short and finds Hazeman. Over the top to Johnson, who's been threatening in this second quarter. A bit high there for Morris. And Slade fists for the line. And again, we see a throw-in on that outer wing. A score check in this second term. Westies 2-5-17. Glenelg 8-4-52. We've gone 15 minutes. From the restart. Squire's kick crashed into weight. Ricocheted back. May at ground level. Got it out. It's the Tigers who do it nicely. Partington got it to Motlop, to Snook, who went searching for Kuller. He couldn't control it, and out of play it goes.
The feature of Glenelg's defending in that situation when West are taking the ball out to the fat side of the oval, John, is their ability to be able to get out and get outside their immediate opposition. And so when a West Adelaide player looks forward, they see Glenelg Guernseys in front of their eyes first, and it does slows down their ball movement. But if they look to try and hit a target, they're forcing a risky kick.
There's Nicholson inside 50 looking for McBean. Klasky, who's been in everything in this first half, shoveled out the handball. Now Yates under pressure. So Glenelg have it back and the stoppage inside there, 50. And they're always dangerous. The kicking for goal today has been excellent, 8 goals, 4. There's Motlop lurking. Gets around onto his right boot, hooks it back towards the goals. Goes across the face. Oh, Yates almost a miracle there. Just jabbed the boot at it. But in the end, rushed through Agostino, I think it was, on the last line defence. And a behind to the Tigers puts them back out to that game-high 36-point lead, 6-goal lead. Willsmore, long, strong kick back towards the middle of the ground. Morris flew high back of the pack. Ryan couldn't pick it up. Head over the ball, trying to shovel it out there was Johnson. In the bays, Partington to Snook. Snook's kick a beauty. And McBean marks 40 yards straight in front. He's kicked one today already, Liam McBean. Played a bit in the ruck. But that was, again, Robbie, a case of that great ball delivery on offer by the bays.
It was. It was just the quick hands too around Luke Partington. Beautiful. The ball is just in and out of the hands really quickly, and Glenelg are able to do that so well, and they're really hard to shut down because they're able to get the ball out of congestion outside really, really quickly. But that type of ball movement is brilliant, and McBean can lead with confidence to someone like Snook, who hit him absolutely beautifully right in the corridor.
So McBean, 45 out straight in front, never, ever looked like missing. From the moment it left the big man's boot, he becomes the Tigers' second multiple goal scorer, up there with Darcy Bailey. And Glenelg out to a game-high 7-goal lead now, 42 points. A lot of footy left to play. You're obviously not giving the contest away yet if you're West Adelaide, but it's hard to find a way back in there. Just the way Glenelg are really controlling Brighton Road here at the moment.
Yeah, well, 14 scoring shots for 20 entries and 9 goals in that, so that's really good use. They value the footy, Glenelg, going forward, and they just do it with really good method, which is sustainable as well, and in what they do, and that's why they're able to put so much pressure on the opposition. They're not just, goals occurring from weird situations, I suppose, for a better term, but they're able to use so much method.
18 gone second term. Here's a chance for Westies. Fisher worked nicely with the 1-2 with Boyle. Now Hazeman over everyone's head with that kick. Running back Costa. What can Josh Costa manufacture? He tries to go back, I think looking for his teammate in weight, but in the end, under pressure, kicked it out of bounds on the full. So Slade crossed the face of goal. And he picks out Nicholson. Funny, just a couple of weeks ago, Todd Slade was one of the reserves players holding up the banner for Carl Nicholson's 100th game. Good to see them out on the field tonight in this league contest playing together with the Bays in control as Squire gets it up to Boyle. The Bloods to go back inside 50. There's a good lead from Ellam. Just knocked away at the last moment. Ground level. Bradley Gives it to Virgin, and they bring it out and will clear the zone here at defensive 50.
He's been good, Michael Virgin, especially in this quarter. He just positions himself so well. He understands dangerous space, and when his opponent's not going to be used, and he's able to drop off, guard dangerous space, but also help out his teammates around.
So Motlop, who got it from Condon, goes down that outer wing, off hands, and Big Hanneth sees it over.
Glenelg's defenders are just so good at speaking to each other when they're off the ball and giving each other information, getting their matchups right. They're always got their head on a swivel and making really good decisions for each other out in the oval.
Time on in the second term. Partington's kick was smothered. What can Westies make of it? Squire got a quick handball, run down, holding the ball. And Glenelg to go again through Snook. Little chip kick, Nicholson. Playing game 102 for the Tigers. Oh, Waite ran him down. It didn't work on that occasion, but Glenelg taking the risks with their tails up as Waite goes towards the outer wing, searching for, but not finding Ellum. Glenelg a chance again. Quick kick from Betterman towards half forward. The Tigers inside 50, diving Reynolds, couldn't bring it down. Duval got it out only as far as Scharenberg to Bailey. Nicholson tight in the pocket, went for the miracle goal. On that occasion though, the behind results, 9-6-60, 2-5-17. Lead of 43 points the margin. West, when they bring it in, persisting the kick towards this clubroom side. And they might get away with it here as offhand showing some rushes. Josh Costa has a bounce, has another. Another one as he hits half forward. Dovetails around at 50, gives over the top to Perella. Here might be a goal to Fairley. Well done, West Adelaide. That was a lot better. They worked it hard with the run on the wing here from Costa. And young Fairley, Connor Fairley, threatening all game, gets his first goal.
Yeah, and that was well carried by Josh Costa in that situation. He could have been spooked and kicked it early because there was no West Adelaide player able to stretch the oval and get goal side of a Glenelg defender. So he had to run, and he had some support. He was able to make a 2v1. I reckon it was... who's in that situation? I reckon it was Parks who was able to press at him, but he was able to make that 2v1 and get a handball in corridor side and go to his support, and then Fairley was able to be the beneficiary and kick truly. Well done.
21 and a half gone, second term. Much needed goal to the Bloods.
It was a beautiful bounce on the wing though too, John. It was. Yeah, it was a little off break, which favoured West Adelaide, and they're able to get a goal as a result. Well done.
37 points the Tigers lead by. Partington kicks towards half forward. Snook couldn't take it. Bailey lurking. One can really win the hard ball there at ground level. And we'll see another ball up, but again, it was good. It looked nice from West, probably the best of their three goals, but they're all against the flow. They're all something out of nothing as Partington back to Betterman. Back inside 50, Reynolds there. Ryan with him close to the line. Condon, did he keep it in? No, he didn't. And umpire says it will be a free kick to the Bloods. And Josh Ryan will take it in the right back pocket. Long, strong kick out towards halfback. The hands there for Glenelg, but they recover quickly. Allen inside 50, knocked down. Duval coming through, found Willsmore. Willsmore got it back to Hill. Now May. May quick kick back towards the wing, sitting and waiting, and taking a comfortable mark is Allen. He bounces up, the former West Coast Eagle, puts Glenelg back inside 50, and a nice little mark, well judged. And that was Callum Park, who we've seen a lot of in defence today. Now has a chance up forward to line up for his first.
It was a courageous mark too, because he had Mitch Duval coming right into his vision, and he was going back with the flight of the footy, so it was a fantastic mark given the circumstances, and if you can put this one through, it'd be really handy going into half-time.
Callum Park.
A bit close to the man of the mark. He's got it.
He's kicked it beautifully, hasn't he? Played. baseball for Australia at junior level. And it's fair to say he's hit that one out the park, Callum, as he gets his first. And Glenelg march on their merry way on the cusp of half-time. It's the Tigers 10-6-66, Westies 3-5-23. We've gone 24 and a half minutes in the second term.
Yeah, but they've been able to find an avenue to goal repeatedly, Glenelg, and through their urgent ball movement, changing of angles, but also just their desperation to be able to put their body on the line, which was epitomised there by Park in that situation there. And he kicked truly. I thought he was going to kick it into the man on the mark. He got a bit close, but anyway, all's well at the end as well.
So back in the middle, West Adelaide going to try attacking through Big Perella. Inside 50, knocked away from Ellum. Costa, who was so instrumental in the Bloods' last goal with a great run on that members' wing. A loose ball now, jarred out. Bust his way through there fairly. And umpire Shram will ball this one up. 25 gone, second term. And a very professional performance by the Tigers in this first half as Perella will get the free kick. Handball's off to Waite. Off a couple of steps, Murray waits. Kicks up looking for Hupfeld. Knocked away from him by Slade. They'll now try and clear the zone. Only as far as Willsmore at 50 for the Bloods. But into the set see Scharenberg away for the Tigers. He kicks towards the clubroom wing. Going to pull it down there, Ryan. Got support from Duval. Gets it over to Hill. And Hill goes short and finds Squire in the middle of the bay. 43 points the margin. And Agostino puts West Adelaide towards half-full where Willmore's got it. So Willsmore, we know, can kick a goal, kicked a long-range running effort in the first term. Goes back confidently, the former Hawthorn player, to line up for his second. Dallas Willsmore to bring the margin back to 37 points, 26 and a half gone. Second term, should I say. Willsmore's kick drifted away to the right. Did it have enough on it to get over the line? It did, but the wrong line. A point to the Bloods. Margin back to 7 goals. And Slade to bring the footy in for the Tigers. Kicks it long and strong out here to half back. Flying high, it's Willsmore again. He goes short into the pocket, searching for and finding the target, despite the desperate attempts of Slade. So Westies can have another shot on goal deep in the second term, and Josh Costa will be lining up, tucked around in the left forward pocket.
Yeah, well, I'll need this one, Westies. If they can get this one, you think they would almost close the quarter out. So going into the break with a major will be really important for them, for their psyche.
Costa looks nice off the boot. I tell you what, he's kicked that very well, Josh Costa. He played a hand in their last goal. He's kicked this one, his first, Westie's fourth. They've kicked 3 in this second term. So while they're struggling away well behind the Tigers, they're not being blown out the water as such. It's back to a 6-goal margin in favour of Glenelg. 28 gone second term. And that was a nice little individual effort from Costa.
Yeah, it's 4-4 to 3-2 for the quarter.
Yeah.
But that was a good finish there, and probably annoying from Glenelg's point of view to give up a goal like that in that situation, especially from a kick out when you've actually got some defensive structure behind the ball. Once the ball clears the 50, it's a heavily populated 50, so to find a target in that situation, it's annoying from Glenelg's point of view.
Perella slaps it down. Umpire's whistle has gone. He's found a free. Once again, he's not happy with the way Perella's being treated after the ruck hit out or during the hit out, and so the big man will get the free. Oh, nice kick as Hupfeld. He hasn't been able to get into the contest much today. Led strongly, pulled that one down. That wasn't a bad kick from Big Perella.
It was. There's a good lace out there, and Lyndon Hupfeld will need this for his confidence here. I coached Lyndon at Nord, so I know him very well. And he's a player who can certainly make the distance here. He's a good long kick and generally reasonably accurate. So with that nice blonde hairdo he's got,
yes,
he's going to have to live up to it.
Was come over from Sydney initially. As you said, Robbie spent time at Norwood, now with the Bloods in 2020. Looking for his first goal from about 50. It's a nice kick, just drifting away though to the right behind the result. So the score, Glenelg 10-6, 66, West 4-7, 31. 29 gone in the second quarter. As the Bays wasting no time, coming out towards the members' wing. Ryan wrestling there with McBean. Umpire says, I'll have it. Billy Stretch passes it right to him. He twirls it skyward. Perella knocks it down. Waite tries to get it off to Willsmore. Snook has him wrapped up. And there'll be a further ball up.
Glenelg have got a couple behind this stoppage free, just really closing up the game at this point of the quarter. So they understand their situation. Their situational awareness is really good. And you've got Parks there just in the hole there.
There is the siren.
Looking for the siren.
And at half-time, it is a 35-point lead to the Tigers over West Adelaide. It's been a strong first half from Glenelg. Westies haven't let themselves be completely blown out in the contest, but they've certainly had to work hard to stay in it, that's for sure. Half-time sees the Tigers 10-6-36, leading West 4-7-31, as I said, a margin of 35 points. Goal scorers for Glenelg, 2 to McBean.
Third and fourth position on the ladder.
So we get some of the individual stats winners for the two sides. Partington and Snook, 16 for the Tigers, 13 to Motlop and Nicholson, 10 to Sharonberg and Stretch, while for West Adelaide, Stevens and Willsmore each have 14, Turner 11, Boyle, May 10 apiece, and Young Squire has 9. Winners in the other games. Probably mentioned an upset at the Ponderosa Central over Norwood. And it was Sturton, another upset at Unley over South Adelaide. Underway in the second half. The lights are on here. ACH Group Stadium. Bays by 35 points. Perella won it down. But it's going to be Big Hanneth for the Tigers. Will get the first touch. Kicking Glenelg inside 50. Knocked down cleverly there by Reynolds. He snaps at the goals and nails it. Fantastic start to the second half for the Bays. They kicked their first goal, Reynolds, in the first quarter. And now, within 20 seconds of the start of the third quarter, he's got his second for the Bays, their 11th, and they lead by 41 points.
Well, his attack on the footy was terrific, Luke Reynolds, and he went again. But Jake Hanneth, from the centre bounce, he was able to follow up his work and get a quick scrambled kick to the 6v6 ahead of the footy. And that's what your forwards want, especially from that situation from centre bounce, is to get it in there. There's one-on-ones. They just want to compete before the numbers get back. And Luke Reynolds was able to... Class act. Luke Reynolds was able to roll around on his preferred left and kick truly.
Fantastic stuff for the Bays through Reynolds. His second. Glenelg really stamping their authority early in this second half as Sharonberg comes away with the footy. Bouncing ball, umpire's whistle has gone. McBean was being hung onto, I think, by... No, it's Hill who was being hung onto in the play off the ball, and he'll get the free at defensive 50. Finds Johnson, who bobbed up here and there in the second term for West Adelaide. Isaac Johnson brings it down this clubroom wing with the kick. Knocked down close to the line. Nicholson's kick. Ricocheted back to Turner. And in the end, Nicholson's found it again to Sharonberg. Knocked out of his arms. Boyle came through. He's tackled over the line. And the umpire will throw the ball back in. A bit of feeling out there. Push and shove here. Parks and Willsmore. So despite the fact that Glenelg are well in control, there's some strong feeling out there on the park at the moment between the players. And a bit of noise in the crowd, which is always good. As Hannah slapped this one down, Johnson trying to come through. Then the umpire's whistle's gone. This time it's going to go the way of the Bays against Johnson. And Snook will take it. High kick towards half forward, over the head of McBean and Ryan. Ground level, Partington always so dangerous. Fired out the handball to Nicholson. Got it up there towards Stretch. Nice little give back to Partington. He kicks into open space where it's trapped by Allen. Oh, if you don't mind, Allen. The snazzy little left foot snap. back-to-back goals to start this third term for the Tigers. We've been going 2.5 minutes. Allen gets his first. The Tigers 12-6-78, West 4-7-31. Game high, 47-point lead to the Tigers.
And the Tigers are just able to keep the ball alive with some quick hands and a fantastic snap around the corner from Allen. But even that situation, West Adelaide about a minute before had a slow play here on the wing, and they kicked down. But you could see Glenelg were actually, even if West were able to win it from the crumb and get a fast forward entry, there were 3 Tigers back inside 50 to protect in case there was an entry inside 50. Well set up.
So Stevens, high clearing kick towards 50 for West Adelaide. Keogh grabbed it off the hands, snaps,
good finish.
And snaps truly. Well, goals raining at either end. A couple for the Bays. Now Keogh with a goal for West Adelaide. A good finish, as you heard Robbie Neal say. And Westies, just when it looks like they're going to be absolutely blown off the park, get one. They go to 5-7-37. The margin back to 41 points. Glenelg 12 goals, 6-78. 4 gone in this third quarter.
Well, came from centre clearance, so less numbers to deal with ahead of the ball under those circumstances. And Keogh is a very, very good player, and he was able to get the ball around his body. But West Adelaide, they've got to almost throw caution to the wind here. I reckon they need to even numbers up, especially ahead of the footy, to give themselves an opportunity to be able to play a little bit quicker, but at least give Glenelg less chance to set up defensively.
It was back in the middle. Shadows lengthening all over the ground. This, of course, was the twilight game. Tigers in control, but West refusing to lie down, refusing to give in. Free kick to Turner, wobbly ball towards 50. Hupfeld, who met it strongly, knocked it down only as far as stretch. Good recovery from Hupfeld, or was he a little too enthusiastic in the tackle? No, he's going to be rewarded. Glenelg fans don't like it, but Hupfeld's got the free. Goes short. Finds Perella. This is off to Hill. Corralled in, but hooks it back. And May takes the mark on this clubroom wing. Getting it moving quickly, Westies. Johnson inside 50. But Allen drops back and takes the saving mark in defence for the Tigers. Looks up. Here's the voice of Motlop. Hazeman with him. 2 former power players. And they see it over the line on that outer wing between left half forward and the wing position for West Adelaide. Well,
they had good numbers back in defence there. Glenelg, Jack Hanneth was deep as the ruckman and just covering that dangerous space at the back. But Allen was able to chime in as a winger, just in there, and be able to take the defensive mark and repel West Adelaide's thrust forward.
Fairley's little quick kick inside 50 was marked by Callum Parker. A nice goal towards the end of that second quarter. Kicks now towards half-back. Reynolds there, wrestling with Levicki, the former Norwood boy. And it's knocked out of play for a throw in half-forward for the Bloods. There's Hanneth and Perella. Dancing around one another in the twilight. Perella wins it down. Bailey, who's kicked a couple for the Tigers, got it out to Bradley. Scharenberg. And now the ever-dangerous Partington. A long kick inside 50, but a good defensive mark by young May with the flight of the footy. Chips it short to Willsmore. Nicholson hems him in. Deep in defence. Willsmore. It's the short pass to Ryan. West Adelaide work it out to Hazeman now. 60 from his defensive goal. So the Glenelg defence doing their best, or Glenelg forward, should I say, doing their best to defend and keep it in their half of the ground. Long kick, Hazeman. Knocked down. Bounced past a few players. In the end, it's Morrish. Got it up to Hazeman. Goes back to May. Coming through strongly, Kuller. Couldn't take it. Snook was good to stretch. Keogh, good use of the body, but ricocheted out towards the player there in Bailey. Klusky couldn't take it. Loose ball. Duval head over the footy, took it strongly, wrapped up by a couple of Tigers. And the ball up results.
Yeah, West Adelaide still can't take any ground through the corridor. Everything is around, and it's slow, and Glenelg are just not being asked any questions, especially from West Adelaide's D50. They just find it really hard to be able to penetrate through Glenelg and get it up into their scoring zone.
Slapped down by Hannah. Snook got it out, only as far as Keogh. Threw it on the boot. Good mark. Ellum, just a little bit taller than Parks in the contest.
Needs
that
to go
helped.
quick. There's one-on-ones ahead.
He's just undecided,
and
though, isn't
gone, slowed it up, and the numbers have got back.
he? Yeah, as he finds Fairley on that outer wing. And the numbers well and truly back now, just shutting down all options for the Bloods. And again, they're sort of stuck there at half-back as Fairley with the long kick. 2-on-1 here. Stevens for West Adelaide. Fists to the line and out of bounds. We've gone 7 minutes in this third term. Glenelg well and truly in control. 12-6-78 leads 5-7-37. But Westies have refused to let this turn into a bloodbath. Even though it's in excess of 40 points, the lead, they fight on. Perella wins it down. The umpire whistles up play, comes in for a ball up. Hanneth. Stevens got a little give out. Chance now for West inside 50. Knocked away from Morris by Slade, who then boots it back from whence it came to that outer wing. Lands in the arms of Hill. And West Adelaide another chance. Goes short and finds Squire. Spent time with the GWS Academy. Lachlan Squire, long kick inside 50, and Hupfeld out in front on that occasion, took a nice mark. He's kicked one today already for West Adelaide. But I mean, he missed that shot in the second quarter. I credit him with. He's kicked one behind. He can line up though for his first. And a much-needed one for the Bloods, the former Redleg, Lyndon Hupfield.
He's much better when he's coming at the footy, Lyndon, and I think he needs to just to work a little bit harder presenting at the kicker. If he's not used, recycle his space again and just make life hard for his and setting up his defender to fail with some hard work rate.
Hupfeld for his first, the Bloods 6th. That looks better off the boot. He's got that one. So West Adelaide 6-7-43, Glenelg 12-6-78, and Hupfeld with his first. And we've gone almost 10 minutes in this third quarter.
Yeah, Lyndon Hupfeld, that'll do plenty for his confidence, and he's a player who can kick goals quickly. Once he gets on a roll and he gets his confidence and he attacks the footy, he can be a bit of a handful, but he's got to present at the kicker more often, and I think he's got to really work hard in terms of, if he's not used, rolling back in, putting blocks on for someone else, and just start functioning with his other forwards just a little more.
As Keogh got the hit out from Perella, drove it long inside 50, but no one could get there. As a result, Virgin, who comes up with the footy, one of the West Adelaide players race there, will take the free for Glenelg. Kicks it long down the wing. Knocked down by Levecki. Here are the Crummers. Hazeman got it to Stevens. High kick from Stevens, searching for weight. Knocked away from him. Stretch to Park. Now Virgin. Virgin's kick back towards the wing, sitting and waiting. May was spoiled as coming through there. Condon. He and Scharenberg apply a good tackle on Boyle. And we'll see a stoppage as 2 goals apiece through each side to start this third term. Sees the margin back at the half-time of 35 points. Umpire Schramm comes in and says we'll ball it up.
The work from Condon was terrific just prior to this this stoppage, trying to bring the ball to ground, and that's the sort of stuff you'd love to see Lyndon Hupfeld continue to be able to do. And even if he doesn't mark it, bring it to ground for the Crummers and the mids to be able to compete from there. But he was out positioned, but was able to neutralise the contest and give his team every opportunity to be able to win it back.
Close to the boundary. Keogh tackled over the line. Pushing and shoving there from the two combatants. After a fairly frenetic first 10-11 minutes, just starting to steady this game at the moment in this second half as Hill searching there for Wake, couldn't quite trap it. His opposite long sleeve opponent in Park did trap it, then went to ground as West Adelaide players dive in over the top of him. And in the process earned the free kick, so Wake comes up with it for the Bloods. Both sides utilising their interchange bench at the moment. Wake goes short, finds Elam.
There's so many West Adelaide players grouped together.
Yeah.
They're standing all in the corridor, so if they do kick down the line, they're just outnumbered by Glenelg. In that situation, Jack Hanneth was able to take a relatively uncontested mark. Keogh was a little late, but we use the term holding hands, and that seems to be what West Adelaide tend to do in those situations. They don't cover the ground well enough and get equal spacing.
Hanneth found Kuller, who went divergent to Slade. Now has some run on the outer wing. The Tigers look to bring it towards 50 off hands. Condon was good. Handball was slapped away, only as far as Kuller. Now Motlop's got it. He's always dangerous. And from 50, Marlon Motlop right on the line. Reynolds arguably could have let it go, did the safe thing and pulled it down. And he should go back and kick goal number 3 for his personal tally from point blank range, and does so. And Glenelg get their 13th. They're 13-6-84 West. 5 goals, 7-43. 14 gone in this third quarter. And Reynolds, quite a nice little performance for him. 3 goals so far tonight.
Yeah, he's been really good. And even when he's brought the ball to ground, his follow-up is so good. He lays tackles, and he's just basically what Glenelg's about. He works really hard. He's unselfish. That situation there, he was able to take the mark on the goal line. It could have gone through, but he wasn't to know what was behind him. He didn't know whether it was going to hit the post. And you do that in the last minute of a grand final every day of the week to ensure that your team scores a goal. So well done, Luke Reynolds.
Exactly right. As Hanneth wins it down. Wrestling in the middle, young Kuller trying to break through. Keogh, high kick, back towards half forward. Slade winning it with the fist. Morris was crashed into. Kuller to Motlop. To big Hanneth, who looks very composed as he dishes off here to the run of Bradley, who's always composed. He goes short and Kluski's got it. Kicked a nice goal in the second quarter. Should I say first quarter to this end. Bit too far out to score. His kick ricochets off the man on the mark. Nice little handball up towards the player there in Hayes. Yates, should I say. His kick drifts away though. And May takes it on the last line of defence. Comes out looking for Johnson. Stood his ground strongly against the attack from Bradley and took the mark. So Isaac Johnson with the footy. Right back pocket for the Bloods. Goes short and finds Ferguson, who's just bobbed up here and there today for the Bloods. Turner kicks long towards the wing, knocked down by Hanneth. Boyle came through, wrapped up in the tackle, loose footy, gang tackling from the Tigers. And a ball up results there on the clubroom wing. 16 gone, third term. Hanneth in the ruck, wins it down. Quick kick back towards 50. Good saving mark by Levicki. This is off to Hazeman. Hazeman goes short. Agostino's got it. And now it's Willsmore. 60 from his defensive goal. Tigers by 41 points. That was the... that lead is thanks to 3 goals to 2 in this quarter in favour of Glenelg. As Agostino comes up with it. Hands back to Willsmore. High kick. Through hands at the back. Lurking. And able to pick it up though was Boyle. It's 55 from Westie's goals, and that's where it will stay. Well, good young players, the Bloods. You like their endeavour, but they just struggle. They don't have a great sort of second tier. They've got the young guys coming through. There's some good older talent, but just lacking experience, I fear, as Boyle kicks it inside 50. Bradley meets it strongly, bangs it back to the outer wing. Wrestling there were Mead and his opponent Yates. Yates taking a very nice mark. Here's the voice of Partington in the middle, finds him. Partington puts it on the boot, goes looking for McBean. He couldn't take it. Klusky, nice little take off to Motloff. A shimmy this way from Marlon. A snap the other and a goal to the Tigers. Good footy there. Klusky and Motloff combining nicely. Glenelg 14-6-90. West 6-7-43. And that was an important one. We've gone 17, 18 minutes in this third term. An important one to the Tigers is they now have kicked 4-2 in this, 4 goals to 2 in this quarter.
Yes, Marlon Motlop, and it's his second snagger for the day, and they just seem to peel off him. Anytime he gets the ball, it's almost everything just goes in slow motion, and he's able to twist and turn, and that was a wonderful finish. Some good quick hands. Jack Klusky involved again. And Glenelg are just surging forward and looking irrepressible at the minute.
They certainly are. As here they go again. The underrated Hanneth with a high kick. Looking for Nicholson on that outer wing. Couldn't bring it in. Mead got it up. Quick kick from Willsmore. Only as far, though, as the Tigers' Bradley. He gets it back in the 1-2. Does it nicely. And beautiful pass. Absolutely lace out right onto the chest there of Reed Kuller. And the young man can go back and line up for goal for the Tigers. That was excellent delivery from the skipper, Bradley.
Yeah, and that's always, you can get some players that approach 50 in fast play through the midfield and get the red mist in front of them and just want to launch it long, but to actually see and lower your eyes and see a free target 15 metres away takes a lot of skill.
And Kuller's made no mistake with that one.
Good boy. And
Glenelg now going on their merry way, starting now to get a tad dangerous. 5 goals to 2 this quarter there. 15-6-96. West 6-7-43. Game high lead of 53 points to Glenelg as we're just about to hit time on in this third quarter. And the Tigers, well, this is where it gets dangerous now for Westies, Robbie. They don't want this to end in a slaughter. They've got to kick a couple just to put some respect back on that board as the margin pulling out.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard to fix sort of mid-game. I think they need to either even the numbers up in front of the ball and just make sure there's a contest that they can kick to every time. But they're just being outworked by the Tigers at the moment. Partington on 21 disposals, Snook 20, Marlon Motlop 17. The right players are getting the footy in their hands for the Tigers.
So on that outer wing is where the ball up will occur. Schramm throws it skyward. Hanneth thumps it down. Boyle took it. He was wrapped up in the tackle.
It's almost a case of where the high forwards of West, they almost need to separate themselves away from the stoppage. They're getting caught up in the congestion, and Glenelg are just able to say, no worries, you're going into a non-dangerous area. We're going to hold our defensive structure. And so if you're going to come forward, you're dealing with outnumbers in front of the footy.
So Glenelg through Betterment with free for the last kick out of bounds. He drives towards half-back. Grabbed by Boyle. High kick. Turner. Took it on the second opportunity on that outer wing for West Adelaide. Felt Glenelg just always in control. They're really starting to turn the screws now. As Willsmore. A little uncertain where to go. Looks to half forward. Ellam's there. Good mark against Parks. That was a good one-on-one contest. Ellam dragging it down, goes short to his lookalike there in Squire. He couldn't take it. Nice little handball off here to Agostino, though. And Westies can go inside 50. And where the mark is taken in this right forward pocket by Costa. He's kicked one today, helps set another one up. And the goal is just what West need. It's against his former club. Kim Costa, of course, the famous father, premiership player with the Crows. Son Josh lines up, goes with the check side kick, gets the Bronx cheers. It goes right across the face and out of play. And no score will result. Always love it when the former player comes back to the club and finds himself in a situation like that in the crowd, and he makes a mistake. They certainly like to let him know about it.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, it goes part and parcel with it, I suppose. But there'll be a day when he'll kick a goal to put him in front or whatever, and what goes around comes around, John.
Exactly right. There's a long kick from Hanneth. Off hands, out of play on that outer wing. And the ball to come back in between left half forward and that outer wing for West Adelaide. Glenelg with a game-high lead of 53 points. Hanneth slapped it down. Sharonberg couldn't take it. Willsmore always working, always trying, and in the end, the ball out of bounds. 23 gone in this third term.
Inside 50s are 34 the Bays, 30 to West Adelaide, but it's just been the quality, isn't it? You actually almost think, it's just the discrepancy would be, maybe 40 to the low 20s, but relatively even. But the quality of Glenelg's ball use going forward, and the ability to be able to, to hit the scoreboard 21 times in their 34 entries, it's just been absolute quality, and West Adelaide have found it a lot harder.
Stevens jukes and jives, gets the handball back. Now Johnson to Ryan. A high kick here towards the members' wing. Waite did well to trap it for the Bloods. Got it up to Hill, tight on the boundary. Little kick didn't go far. Partington got it out. Now Parks towards Bailey. Good grab from Bailey. A couple of goals in the first half. It's too far out to score, you feel. Darcy Bailey, here's the voice though, pops it up, and Yates takes the mark in the left forward pocket for the Bays. 24 gone, third quarter, Glenelg by 53. This kick from Yates put them on the cusp of a 10-goal lead.
Yeah, he had a variety of options in that situation. He was able to hit Yates, but he also had Carl Nicholson on the fat side of the oval as well, and they were just able to spread the West Adelaide defence under those circumstances. But it was a beautiful little kick into that hole, and Yates, let's see how he goes from this particular angle.
Can kick a goal, we know that. Kicks this quite nicely off the boot and nails it. So Jack Yates gets his second for Glenelg this afternoon. And they go to a 59-point lead, the Tigers. 16-6, 102, West 6-7, 43. 25 gone, third term, and, well, this is where almost a 10-goal lead. Westies need to snap one back or a couple back before three-quarter time.
It's well done to Jack Yates. He's kicked a couple, he's had 8 disposals, but he's been very efficient up forward, and Glenelg keep motoring along, and I think we're getting to around the 26-minute mark of this third quarter, and Westies wouldn't want another one to get through. But you can just see Glenelg are just getting more confident by the minute and moving themselves into the form that got them the premiership last year.
Just got better with each term, the Tigers, as things are continuing to work for them, as Keogh's quick kick towards 50. Little handball out from Morris. Hazeman in there, tackling strongly for West.
Where's that ball even left that stoppage, John? 4 Glenelg players were the first back to it to recover and outnumber at the ball. It's just work rate.
Betterman goes back to Proud. The ever-reliable Max Proud kicks towards half-back. Someone falls short. Squire bobs up with it to Keogh's. Kick one today for Westies. Won't score from there. That kick to Willsmore. What can he set up for the Bloods? Goes searching. Ellum, the unlikely crummer, can't quite get it on to boot. Players from both sides pile in. Stoppage will be called underneath the scoreboard, which shows Glenelg 16-6, 102, West 6-7, 43. Tigers well in control, but the ball inside West 50, perhaps only momentarily, though Squire providing good pressure. Tigers trying to break free. Slade got a handball out. Snook got it up to Sharon Berg. Now Partington steaming away. Little handball off there to Condon. Back to Partington. High kick off defensive 50. Through the fingertips of Motlop. Westies have the numbers as Ryan got it in the handball. Chip short to Willsmore. And there is the siren. So at three-quarter time, the Tigers enjoy a healthy 59-point lead. 16-6-102. West 6-7-43. As we look at the goal scorers, firstly for Glenelg, Luke Reynolds has 3. 2 then to McBean, Motlop, Bailey and Yates. While we see all the single goals then to Partington, Kuller, Allen and Kluski. While for West Adelaide, their goals are all singles. In budget order, as you expect, will win here. They'll go into the top 3. South will drop down into 4th, and they're only a game and a reasonable amount of percentage ahead of Norwood. So Norwood not out of things yet, and some interesting results there today. With a quarter to go here, though, at the Bay, I think it will be the Tigers. But we're just going to have to wait and see how the young bloods fight it out. Underway, final quarter. This twilight affair at the ACH Group Stadium, Glenelg. Tigers by 59 points. Turner gets the first touch to Stevens. High kick back towards half forward. And Bradley, as he's done so often, camped under it. Takes a very nice mark for the Tigers. Robbie's in charge, of course, of the 3-2-1. Digital Pass Player of the Year votes. But his work cut out of him. There's been a lot of good players today for the Tigers as Partington got it from Bradley, went short. And Yates puts Glenelg inside 50. And the mark taken there by the player in Nicholson. Tucked around in the right forward pocket. Playing game number 102 for the Tigers. Robbie and I were here a fortnight ago when he brought up his 100th game. Not a great night that night. Well, that afternoon it was, losing by 7 goals to the Panthers. Certainly things have turned around a bit as Nicholson's kick across the face through for the first score. And it brings the margin to an even 10 goals. 16-7-103 plays 6-7-43. And we've gone about a minute in this last quarter.
Maxie proud, as always. He's just making sure he's defending that space at the very back so they can't be slingshot. So either him or Michael Virgin, they seem to rotate around and just read the play together.
They've been very good in defence. Proud, Virgin, Bradley as Morris. Or should I say Morris? Morrish. I'll get there eventually to Johnson at half forward. And Johnson backs back very confidently, Jack Johnson. I like the way he plays. A confident demeanour. And he's looking as though a line up for goal here for West Adelaide. They need one, to say the least. Nothing else, just to put some respectability back on that scoreboard. Isaac Johnson from 50 with the left boot, pushes it out to the right. That's where it stays. So a couple of behinds, one at each end to start the final term, which is 2 minutes old. Margin back to 59 points in favour of the Bays. Lights well and truly on. As Virgin, long kick back towards half-back. Ryan with the bandage, knocks it down only as far as Nicholson. Stevens batted it forward. Nicholson head over the foot. He got a handball out to Partington. Shows some pace. Kicks long to 50. Bounces away from Motlop and Mead, but straight into the hands of Reynolds, who says thanks very much as he snaps across the face and out of play.
Well, we saw before, it was probably one of the only times West Adelaide tonight have been able to get a forward to get goal side of their Glenelg opponent from a fast forward entry in that situation and rolling on and getting there. So that's something where they can actually perhaps learn from and going forward and be able to move the footy, especially against a well set up defence like Glenelg.
West took it out of defence. Duval, long kick to half back. Wake got a handball off to Boyle and now charging forward there. But taken to ground was Big Ellen. Umpires paid advantage. The flying shot on goal, he thought Ellen was legged. The flying shot on goal, though, away to the right for the Bloods. a point the result. Margin at 58 points now. Early days in this last term, and Callum Park to bring the footy back into play for the Tigers. Runs into the left back pocket, launches long towards the outer wing, well trapped by Duval. High kick back inside 50. Off hands, Proud got a little handball out. Keogh tackling strongly for West Adelaide. Turner, little look away handball. Hill got it up to Stevens. He lost it. Snook. So Kluski looking for Condon in the middle of the ground. Knocks it along in front of himself. Yates is there. Comes up with the footy. Gets it to Kluski, who's run on. Little handball. Condon almost run down. Got his kick away. And marking on the edge of the goal square is Motlop, who's kicked a couple tonight. He'll go around on the angle and line up for goal number 3 for his tally. Goal number 17 for the Tigers. He's going to run around to the old Stevie J and do it pretty nicely. 3 goals to Motlop, 17 to Glenelg, and they march on. 17-7, 109. Westies 6-9-45. Margin of 64 points.
Yeah, well, Tom Condon was just a little lucky. He probably took a couple of steps too many, and Marlon Motlop was fortuitous situation, was able to drop into his hands. But Marlon's been really good tonight. He's been very calm. He's been able to hit the scoreboard, but also provide that magic that he shows so often in the midfield as well. And he's been well supported too by Luke Partington, Snook, and Scharenberg, and they've been dominant as a midfield tonight against the Bloods.
Scharenberg kicks up towards half forward. It'll give out to Yates. Didn't find a target. Another chance for the Tigers here, though. Condon working hard, goes short. Motlop knocked away from him, recovers nicely. Bangs it on the boot. Motlop's got 4. How do you like it? 2 goals to Motlop to start this last quarter. Gives him 4 for the game. The leading goal scorer on the game. Well, they'll get their 18th. 18-7. They go to 1:15, and they lead by a game-high 70 points. 19
disposals, 4 goals, 1 to Marlon Motlop. What a night. He's just really impacted the game, and he's just been so clean. And he just provides this Glenelg crowd with a lot of entertainment. Everything he does turns to gold. And remember coaching at North Adelaide back in about 2008 when he was a power player, John, and he had a bit of talent, but his work rate was obviously being developed as a young player. But, gee, he's become a wonderful player over the years, and he was instrumental last year in their premiership campaign.
And he's been very good tonight. 7 gone, 4th quarter. Quick kick by Scharenberg to half forward. The Bays game-high lead of 70 points. 4 goals to Motlop tonight. As Fairley hands off to Waite, and West Adelaide clear off half-back. Slade slaps it down, though, for the Tigers. Hazeman out there pressuring his opponent. Ball jarred free. Scharenberg comes in. And ball back there. Allen. And now Parks launches the kick towards half forward. Coming through, Yates met it strongly, did well. Slade off a step, high kick to 50. Hill went up high to spoil. Ball at ground level. Coming through Johnston. No one can quite pick the footy up, right on the cusp of 50 for the Bays. By watching carefully, and decides he'll ball it up now. 50 out from the Tigers' goal.
Just watching Luke Reynolds there. He competes for the mark. The ball came to ground, but he gets on his feet. But what he ended up doing, he knew he couldn't impact where the ball was going, so he goes and stretches the oval again. He runs back towards his goal to go and reset. So if we happen to win it, Glenelg have got someone to actually kick to ahead of the ball. He doesn't just stay in amongst the traffic and be nullified.
Keogh's kick taken by Kluski goes inside 50. Hill was good. Got it up to Fairley, to Willsmore. Chance for West to clear, and they do so to Hazeman at defensive 50. Quite dark here at the Bay Oval. The lights are on, and there's some lights down there in the fence at half forward on this grandstand side, and coming through Park couldn't take it. Proud shoveled it out the back. Boyle wrestling for the footy against his Glenelg opponent. Still tight and tough, even though it's 70 points. Allen and Boyle in that contest, good to see. Twirling it skyward. Knocked away towards Allen. His handball a bit hot for Bradley. Managed to get it up to Virgin. No nonsense. Michael Virgin, the former Rooster, kicks inside 50. May wrestling for the footy with Reynolds. Good contest between a veteran and a youngster there. Umpire Schramm was impressed, and he comes in and says, we'll ball it up. 40 out from the Tigers' goal. Slapped down by Hanneth. Going to run onto it, Partington. Duval overran it. Partington's kept going and almost kicked a sneaky one there. As it is another point. 18-8, 116. West 6-9, 45. 71 points the margin. We approach the 10-minute mark of this final quarter. Young May to bring the footy back into play for the Bloods. Goes long towards half-back. Little give by Boyle. Hupfeld, who I could tell by that blonde hair out there on the underside, dragged to the ground. And a ball up will result. Keogh working it nicely with handball. Back to Waite. Waite's kick to the outer wing. Found Hupfeld. Chips onto the run of Keogh. Marks it at half forward. Goes short. Nice little pass. And the Bloods come up with it through Morrish. And he'll get a 25 to the lad from Sunraysia for a late contact there.
He did that well. He went back towards goal. He got goal side of his opponent, John, but then came back at the kicker. Little tick lead and was able to present. But Lyndon Hupfeld, good ball movement as well. Kicked it to a guy running into space, and now they've got this shot at goal.
And
good method.
It was a 50-metre penalty in the end, and Morrish did it nicely. He gets the goal for Western. I was trying to find him at half forward, but they took him all the way to the goal line. So first goal there to Tom Morrish. A bit of a steadier, if you like, for West Adelaide, though they still trail by 64 points. And we've gone 11 minutes in the last quarter.
Well done to the young man in Morrish. He could have actually led it Lyndon Hupfeld, but he elected not to because he saw a man, one of his teammates, coming from behind the kicker running into that space. So he ran away from it and was really smart. And then he presented to that receiver. So really good play. He got a 25-metre penalty as a result of the punishment he got after taking the mark. And they got a goal. Well played.
As back in the middle, one down by Perella. Slung around in the tackle. There was Kuller. Umpire will ball it up. Perella wins it down. Nicholson couldn't take it, knocked it towards Stretch. He goes to ground in the contest. Bailey, now Motlop, got it up to Park. Quick kick. Waite came through, couldn't grab it. This is the goal scorer, Morrish. Works it round the corner. Couldn't quite find Levicki before the boundary line. Caused everyone to run out of room. And we'll see another throw in deep in that forward 50 arc, or for deep in that half of the ground for West Adelaide. Little handball came out. Some great run there from the Bloods, charging towards goal, and they'll get the reward here with the goal for West Adelaide. Back-to-back goals now for the Bloods. Looks like Boyle who kicked that one, and West Adelaide 2 in a row, adding some respectability to the scoreboard.
Yeah, they're able to take a couple of chances late, West Adelaide. Obviously, the damage is done on the scoreboard up to this point, but at least they're still progressing, and that's really important for a team, not to just to let things happen and go through the motions. So they're able to hit the scoreboard a couple of times. They'll probably be ruining their method leading into this quarter in particular, but it's always good to see a team finish the game off.
It was in fact Turner who kicked that goal, his first. Now Keogh bangs it on the boot. West Adelaide showing some real fight going towards half forward. Meeting it strongly there was Betterman. Couldn't quite gather it in. Hazeman was good. Little give over the top. The Westies go inside 50. Knocked down. Stevens lurking. Applying pressure on his much bigger opponent. That will be held up just inside 50 for West Adelaide. 13 gone, final term. From the restart. High kick from Snook. Oh, nice little one-handed grab by Hill. Clutching it in there. Searching for Waite. He took it nicely. Puts West Adelaide back inside their 50. Knocked away from Hupfield. Parks there. Hupfield recovered. Got a flying shot on goal. Through for a behind. So Glenelg 18-8-1-16. West 8-10-58. We've gone 14 minutes now in this final term. And it's with Virgin in the right back pocket. Hands off to Callum Park. Drops it across the boot. Brings it out towards half back. And out of play it goes as McBean thuds into the fence down there at half back for the Bays. So Ellen going to do some ruck work for West against Hanneth. Hanneth won it down, running through Snook. Got the kick into the middle of Brighton Road and found Reynolds. Kick 3 today, Reynolds, as he goes long inside 50. McBean charging after. I think Ryan got hold of him in the end, and McBean will go back, and the chance line up for his third goal, and Glenelg's 19th.
And that was just great situational awareness by Luke Reynolds. He knew the ball had come from player density, congestion, and he knew there had to be one-on-ones ahead of the footy and a lot of space, and he was able to roll and see Liam McBean move into his vision from this grandstand side. He headed out towards that fat side of the oval and he put it to a one-on-one advantage, and was able to put a lot of pressure on the West Adelaide defender. I'm not sure whether it was Paddy Levicki on that situation there, but
as McBean's shot on goal is a good one. He kicks 3. Glenelg get their 19th, 19-8-1-22. West 8-10-58. As we've gone 15 minutes in this fourth quarter, and Westies haven't given up the fight, but Glenelg, as they have been all evening, cleaner in front of goals.
Yeah, and it was a good finish by McBean, but it just led to that one-on-one situation ahead of the ball. And I think it actually might have been Josh Ryan.
Yeah, what was Ryan?
And, he's got to a situation where he panicked. He knew McBean had body position on him in the one-on-one situation in space, and didn't want to allow him to take an easy mark. So, obviously, infringed, and the umpire was in a good position to be able to adjudicate.
McBean played it well, as the Tigers have done all night. Hanneth outpointed by Ellum in that contest. Chance for stretch, got it from Partington. Kick back towards the outer wing, meeting it nicely, Condon. Handball, though, missed the target of Scharenberg. Johnson comes up with it. Got it to Squire, he hooks it back. And dragging in the mark there, the Bloods have it. Waste no time, they drive looking for Hupfield, knocked away from him. Betterman went up, Nicholson controlled it. Quick little kick, bouncing football, taken nicely there by Allen. Quick kick out of the defensive zone though by the Tigers. Ellum takes the mark. And again he walks back confidently and will line up for goal. Hamish Ellum, lad from the Sydney Swans Academy. Played a bit up forward and a bit in the ruck today for West Adelaide. Looking for his first goal. From just outside 50s. Got the distance but not the accuracy. 1 point the result. So it's 19-8-1-22. That's the Bays. West go to 8-11-59. As Callum Park looks to bring it back into play. A long kick out towards half-back. Reynolds flew high. Ryan from the side. Pulled down the mark, but it'll be a free kick to Reynolds in the original contest. He's got it at half-back. Chips backward to Virgin. Back to Reynolds. Surprisingly, given their lead, Glenelg just happy to chip it around. Reynolds decides to go for a bit of a run. Hooks it back here towards half-back. Finds Park from defensive 50. Kicks towards the outer wing, but too wide for Partington and out of play. His opposite number 10 there, Kane Stevens, will take the free for West Adelaide. Stevens just chips it back. Mark taken by Agostino. West Adelaide to Hazeman now. Content to continue with the short passes. Willsmore, who scored their first goal, goes out wide to Stevens, to Agostino, back to Stevens. Trying to set something as they go towards 50. Waite up there. Can he trap the footy? He can. Murray Waite does well. Will he have a shot? He does, but it's away to the right. So 62 points now, the margin in favour of Glenelg. We've gone 19 minutes in this last quarter as the Bay's moving things sprightly from full back. They get some run going on this wing up towards half forward where Reynolds has trapped it. Went out towards Kluski. Went back to Reynolds and knocks it to Nicholson. Nicholson can have the snap on goal and Nicholson can finish with a goal for the Tigers. Their 20th. They go to 20 goals, 8, 128. West Adelaide, 8-12-60. Game high margin of 68 points as Nicholson gets his first as we tick into time on in the final quarter.
Well, the more I see Carl Nicholson, the more I like him. He's a fantastic player for this team. He's selfless. He runs hard off the footy, and he's good with the footy in his hands. He makes great decisions, and he's got a bit of class about him, and that was a fantastic finish given the situation. But Luke Reynolds following up, and he just kept the ball going forward under the circumstances there, and Glenelg finishing the game off, which is really good to see.
Nicholson becomes the Bay's 10th goal scorer in today's encounter. Free kick going the way of Keogh, hands off to Squire, and West Adelaide go towards half forward. Willsmore there, knocked away from him. Off the ground, Stevens might come off here as Johnson pirouettes around. Little kick finds Costa, who's kicked one today. Had a hand in another. Not a lot on offer for Costa. Just going to go long with everything he's got, but it's away to the right behind the result. So Costa with that point brings the margin to 67. There's Park, two Parks, and it's Parks with a long kick out towards the outer wing where Hill mops up nicely for West Adelaide. Agostino now goes short to Squire. Westie's going backward to go forward. Squire's got Ryan. We can chip it up to Duval. Short pass game continues and Duval finds Willsmore on this members wing. 22 gone in this final term. Westie's turn it over. And here go the Bays into the middle. Slade, nice pass taken by Kuller. Goes short, bouncing ball. Bradley measures his kick inside 50. Ryan got up, knocked it down. Hill picked it up, run down. Got a handball out in the nick of time to Duval, who goes short into the pocket. Boyle chips it up to Keogh. Keogh's turned it over. Betterman coming through for the Tigers. Takes the mark, 55 from goal.
Glenelg just don't allow you any easy corridor access. Just well set up and just force you to go the long way around.
Kick from Betterman, knocked down. Nicholson read it nicely, read it cleanly, and banged through his second. Another goal to Carl Nicholson. Both coming in this last term. Well, for the Tigers, they get their 21st, 21-8, 134. West 8-13. 61, 73 points. Now the margin in favour of Glenelg. Just checking that time clock, 23 minutes gone in this last quarter.
Well, he's a ripper, Carl Nicholson, 27 disposals, 2 goals too, and he's been a wonderful contributor for Glenelg tonight, and they've had contributors all over the shop, to be honest, John, and I always said if you have enough players playing 7 out of 10, usually leads to a 10 out of 10 performance for the team.
It's been the story of the day for the Bays. They just got better with each quarter too, with the way they've played their game plan, stuck to their game plan, been disciplined, and just ground West down into the ground. Here's a chance for them to go again. Glenelg off the ground, Partington, and into open space. It's picked up by Condon. Banging it on the boot, Scharenberg comes up to Snook. On offer. He goes searching there over the head of Bailey. Up high was Yates, but Devar was even higher and pulled down a very nice mark for the Bloods. Goes short to Ryan. West Adelaide work it around into that left back pocket where it's just been taken for them. They bring it out here towards half back. Slap down towards the line. Bloods determinedly keep possession. High kick. McCluskey got in the way, couldn't bring it down. Costa tackled strongly. Taken to ground. Approaching 25 minutes in this last quarter. Out of the ruck, Keogh. Banged it on the boot. Park got a hand up, just knocked it down for the Tigers. And now it will come towards that outer side where Condon marks the footy for Glenelg. Glenelg fans happily applauding each play. They're enjoying this. This win will see them move back into the top 3. Well, of course, the top 4. There's no real great advantage in the top 3, though. I guess you take anything you can as Parks goes short. And Bradley's got it deep in defence. Now with Kuller. Goes towards the wing. Bouncing ball. Proud was good. Met it strongly. Got it up to Kuller. High kick back towards the wing position. Westies again. Fight back through Mead. Punching it back towards half forward. May. Little handball over the top to Keogh. High kick Ryan. Really isn't pretty stuff. But you've got to admire the way West are fighting it out. Chance for Kluski for the Tigers. To Condon. And now Bradley. Yates kicks Glenelg towards half forward. They go. Well, chopped off this occasion by West. Agostino to Turner. Boyle. Just a little chip kick down the wing. Morris finds Turner. Nice kick into the middle of the ground, but again, Glenelg chop it off. Bradley to Kluski. Kuller, short little pass. And the Tigers through Partington. Inside 50. Nice pass, nice mark. And Glenelg will look to line up for goal number 22 through the agency of Yates. He's kicked a couple tonight already.
Yeah, he's looked good forward of the ball tonight, Yates, and he's made some good decisions with the footy in hand, and he's been able to hit the scoreboard as well, along with a number of his Tiger forwards. But be almost siren time now. He'd like to finish the night off with another snagger.
Mark Stone and coaching team coming down from the box as Yates' kick goes away to the left. One behind the result. There's Glenelg 21 goals as well. We'll stay at West Adelaide 8-13. Glenelg 21-9. 8-13-61. That's Westies. Glenelg 21-9-134. Willsmore goes short and finds Stevens. And there is the siren. So that is the end of a pretty emphatic performance by this Glenelg side. They will play Tigerland and they'll enjoy it because they've run out winners 21-9-135 to West 8-13-61. A final margin there of 74 points in favour of the Tigers. A very strong performance. Sees them move up to third on the ladder. South losing today to Sturt, dropped to fourth. Of course, one game to come with second hosting first tomorrow at Prospect, North Adelaide and the